What up? What up? What up? What's up? Sharonda. Sharon. Let me stop playing, y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your girl. And you know me. We finna jump right into it because we ain't got no time to waste. And I got my wine. I hope y'all got y'all wine. I'm finna pull me up a little bit more. But let's just jump right into it. This is healthily grieving / self-sabotage. Let's get into it. So the more I dive into my spiritual journey and just getting to know myself more and just understanding myself more, I've come up with this term called healthily grieving. And I feel like it's so important to talk about. My lips are a little dry. Hold on. This is brought to you by Dollar Tree. Vaseline. But I just wanted to talk about this because I feel like it's so important to learn how to articulate your emotions. And the further I go on my healing journey, the more I want to share. And sometimes I get scared about sharing, but Lord, please protect me and my gifts and the work that I share and put out into this universe. Because I'm learning that when you don't share your gifts, you get punished. And my gifts include me talking and speaking the things that I've been through and the things that I've dealt with to help myself and to help others heal. When I help myself, I'm doing a service to help other people, and that's what it's all about to me. I don't want to do things selfishly. So me talking and me speaking, it's a way of healing for myself and healing my community and healing those around me. So I want to speak upon healthily grieving because I've been dealing with a lot of grief in the last couple of years, from grieving my old self to grieving who I thought I would be, to grieving who I was before I became a mother, grieving old relationships, platonic, romantic, familial, and just so many things, and just places I've been, things I've done, jobs I've had, and dreams I've had, and you know, and I'm learning how to healthily grieve. Because when you grow up in a society that only gives you 3 days off of work to grieve physical death, and that also depends on the significance of that relationship, depending upon how they feel is significant to you, it takes a real mental toll on you. I'll never forget quitting my job due to so much stress that I was under. And I've said this in previous videos. And when people were surprised that I wasn't coming back to work, knowing everything that I've been through, despite just COVID breaking out, being a new mother, my grandfather dying, and a multitude of other things, the fact that people were surprised that I didn't return to work was kind of alarming to me. But I also have to take into consideration for myself, I did not learn a lot of myself until I stopped being a productive member of society, because I still don't have a typical job. I have still not returned to the workforce, and I may or may not, but the amount of peace that I have, the amount of love that I'm surrounded by, the amount of time that I'm allotted to just get myself together means way more to me than $1. And God has always found a way to bless me. So I'm trying to find a way to integrate that so I can still be the mother that I want to be and give my son everything that he desires, while also still just having my peace. So I'm trying to find a way to integrate that, and I'm working through it. It's still like a work in progress, but you know, life is all about adapting. So I don't never really get too caught up on anything, because when they say you have to have the faith of a mustard seed, they wasn't lying. It really does take a lot of faith to do the things that I'm doing now in order to have my peace, because it's non-negotiable at this point. And I know for a very long time, I sacrificed a lot of my peace in order to keep order around me, but I wasn't happy. And I never realized how unhappy I was again until I quit my job. So I've been learning how to healthily grieve things and just being honest with myself about where I am and the relationships that have been severed, and just things that I have lost along the way, and just being back in situations that I told myself I wouldn't be back in. I'm learning that it's all a pattern, and it's just me just being honest with myself. Like, hey, okay, why did you end up back here? What did you miss the first time around that you're not getting now? And it's just like being able to notice those patterns has really helped me to become a better person, to become a better woman. And that's all I really strive to be. Something I think about a lot lately now, because I used to call myself King C, and I recently didn't change like my social media handles back to that shit. But I always say that because in my mind, I feel like I'm a real nigga in my core. Like, you know, I'm very much so tapped into my femininity now, but at my core, I'm a real nigga. Like, I was a tomboy, straight up tomboy growing up, and I still got that energy. Anybody who know me, who talks to me, you know, I'm always gonna be in love with a real nigga. You feel me? But I'm also learning how to integrate the softness within me, and that's why I love being a mom, because it's just like he bring out that rugged shimmy, that tomboyish shimmy. Like, I love having a son. It's crazy because I wanted a daughter, but it's just like having a son is just like, this shit pretty lit, because he remind me so much of myself, and just seeing him be his free self. But he also brings out that nurturing side in me, that side that wants that love, that connection. And I know for a long time I was embarrassed about my situation with my child, because, you know, like, I'm young, I'm about to be a mom, and it's just like, you know, that's frowned upon. So I felt like I was running so long from that connection, and it was the most healing thing that ever happened to me, because my son taught me how to have autonomy over myself again. And it's crazy because as a child I was so rebellious, I didn't give a fuck. But a lot of me put that energy away because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to make people happy. I was realizing how me being myself was taking a toll on other people. But again, like, the older I got, and once I had him and I'm seeing him be himself, and I'm just realizing, like, you really not hurting nobody. Like, yeah, you might be hurting somebody's feelings, but feelings ain't facts. And if they can't sit with the fact that you are okay with being yourself, and you don't want to listen to everything they say, because my son tell me no, he don't always want to come to me, he don't always want to be bothered with me, and I have to be okay with that. And he's learning to respect my boundaries. Like, he's still a child, so, you know, they be having power trips, they want what they want. But, you know, just having that relationship just has taught me, like, people do have to just get okay with the fact that you choosing yourself, even if it does hurt their feelings per se. Because a lot of times people do be on power trips, and it's just really what it boiled down to. Like, toes have to be tread upon when it comes down to you making yourself happy. Like, if you're not satisfied with yourself overall, if you're not happy with yourself when you go to sleep at night, then what are you doing life for? I just wrote something down in my journal. Oh my God, I wish I had it. But it's just said something along the lines like, how important would it be to be doing the thing that you're doing if you did not need that outside validation? And that shit really struck a nerve for me, because as a Black woman, it's just like, it's a double-edged sword. Like, a lot of times we have these savior complexes because we so badly wish that somebody would save us. We lean into people pleasing and try to have these dogmatic views and want people to just blindly follow us in the things that we do and say, simply because we felt so small within our voices for so long. But the older I'm getting, the more I'm realizing that life has to be people's teacher. I can't always get people to cling to my views. That doesn't mean that they're wrong. That doesn't mean that I'm wrong either. But again, feelings are not facts, and we all feel how we feel, and it just is what it is. As long as the respect is there, like, it's okay to just respectfully disagree with people when it is opinion based. Now, some things are just not up for debate, and you just gonna have to get the fuck from around me. You feel me? But a lot of times, like, a lot of things just can just be like, we can just agree to disagree. So I've just, you know, been learning how to just healthily grieve the old me, because when you want different things, it's really nothing old to go back to. You can't use the same mind that you were using when you were just surviving to actually thrive and to actually live. You have to let go of some things in order to make room for the things that you really want. So now let's step into that self-sabotage. oftentimes I found myself sabotaging good relationships and good things around me simply because of past trauma and where I've been, and not knowing how to properly grieve old things. And The Body Keeps Score. Get that book if you can. And reading that book, it taught me so much just about, and just doing yoga, period, it just taught me so much about how our body keeps score. It's literally what I just said. Like, your body stores so much trauma, especially as women. We store so much trauma in our hips. So it's so important to move. And like, that's why with like, you know, working a job just tirelessly and you just finding yourself just day in, day out, the only thing that you're concerned about is a job, you don't have no time to really work through your trauma. When you get 3 days to just grieve and you have to be back to work, like, things like that matter. Having people around you and bosses and co-workers and people around you who genuinely care about your mental health, all of those things matter. That truly matters. And again, you will find yourself pushing things away and not really making space to actually properly grieve when, again, you're not taking that time to. So it's easy to sabotage things that are sent for you, that are meant for you, when you've been taught for so long that abuse is normal, when you've been taught for so long to go against what your body feels, how you genuinely feel, what your body genuinely needs. Of course, you're going to try to cling on to things that are normalized to you. But that doesn't make it okay. That doesn't mean that's exactly what you need. So I just feel like it's just so important to learn yourself, to really sit with yourself, to really be with yourself. I just meditated today probably for the first time in over a year. And it's such an out of body experience. Like, I can't even put it into words, like how I genuinely felt. Like, it's just crazy. Like, if you have an opportunity to do it, if you have 15 minutes to sit down, find you some healing frequencies to listen to, I highly recommend it. I'm trying not to get dogmatic in my views how I used to, but if you do have the time to do that, I really be trying to emphasize that to people. But again, I'm trying not to be dogmatic in my views, so I don't be wanting to really push people into everything that I'm doing. But again, I just know the benefits of it. So if you trust me, you gonna do it. And you gonna see what I'm talking about. But again, just learning more about myself, just getting more sure of myself, more confident in myself, confronting myself, and really doing shadow work. I always try to emphasize the importance of doing shadow work now, because the blind, sheer optimism, it's never gonna work. It is darkness to life. Light cannot peek through light. It can only peek through darkness. So yes, it is darkness, and sometimes you have to go beneath the surface and get to the roots. Deeper the wounded, deeper the roots, in order for you to truly heal. And I speak about it so much because I'm a testament to what it can truly do for you. Like, being able to truly just dive into yourself and just embrace yourself and embrace your darkness and just say, yeah, that did happen. Yeah, I fucked up. And just learning how to move forward is so important, because self-sabotage is so real. And I found myself in that position many times before, because it's easy to convince yourself you aren't deserving of love when you're presented with a love that's so new, so pure, when you're used to abuse. And abuse comes in so many different forms. So like I said, it's just so easy to believe that is normal. That is what true love is. So when someone comes around you just giving you everything that you want, you looking at them crazy. You convince yourself you don't really want that, because you're trying to convince yourself that you don't deserve it, but you do. Life is your birthright. They hid that in the fine prints. Take the pen and rewrite it. Step out your estimate. Step in your essence and know that you're excellent. Rise. Fall in your way. Okay, I gotta play that. I just snapped. Because that's Bigger by Beyonce, and then that's Rise by Solange. My man be all over the place, but still. But no, for real though, like, those are two albums that definitely saved my life. They came out in such pivotal times in my life. So shout out to them sisters, you feel me? But yeah, like, that line just, like, once I realized, like, I deserve love, I deserve peace simply because I exist. Everything else became arbitrary, and it made me want to do more and dive deep and do my shadow work and do my due diligence to be a better person. Because if I deserve love simply because I exist, I want to go out into this world and be the person that I'm destined to be. And again, we're gonna get thrown negative energy at us all the time. So it's so important to dive into that, because it's easy to consume and be the shit that you hate. It takes a lot of work to really be a true, kind, and genuine person. Not nice, but genuinely kind. And really, you know, just get into the root of so many things. So I just implore everybody to just really do your shadow work and just really sit with yourself and try to be the best version of yourself, and just continue to do your due diligence to show up better. And you're going to be rewarded in the end. Even all the things that I've been through and I've dealt with, I wouldn't change a thing. I don't have any regrets about my past, because it made me the woman that I am today. And the woman that I am today triumphs all the bullshit. And if you know me, you know. So for me to say that, I really mean it. But that's all I have to say. Make your pain your purpose, and your purpose your passion. We all hurt, we all bleed, we all go through things. But as long as you're willing to adapt and be better, you're always going to be rewarded. God is always going to see fit that you get your blessings. Okay? I love y'all. Peace out. Cheers.